What's up, everyone? This is me, Mildewy Carrot, online with ALWT Gaming. How are y'all doing today? Unfortunately, as you notice, there's only 2 people here today. Unfortunately, our dear Malachi is currently down and out. So thoughts, prayers, maybe a bit of Bitcoin to him, just to keep him and get him going through the week, guys. You know, he definitely appreciate it. If not, just give him some love. He definitely love that too. But you have me here today. Like I said, I'm Mildewy Carrot, and I am here with it's the 9ball. Tell me, how you doing, buddy? How you doing?
Great today. We had a beautiful day after work. I have family that came in, and it's just been lovely.
Excellent. Love hearing about families getting back together after COVID and all just showing up on the doorstep
Yeah.
going, "Hey, we're still alive. How you doing?" And you're just like, "Oh, yeah."
Yeah, it was a shock, but it's always fun for them to show up, and I love it. It's brings a little bit more, uh, makes the house a bit livelier.
Gets you just that big excitement in the life, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Well, other than the family showing up and surprising you, what games you been playing this week? We gotta do the standard questions that Malachi used to do. Will do. Continue on.
Yeah. Well, since they've been here, we've been playing. What game we've been playing? Oh yeah. Roblox.
That's
And,
alive.
yeah, and Fall Guys.
All right. Getting the multiplayer co-op kid games going. I see how it is. See how it
Yeah,
is.
I
Me
suck at
personally.
both.
Hey, at least you tried. At
Yep.
least you tried. Me personally, just been playing Civ 6, Planet Crafter, and Phasmophobia and Ghost Exiles with you, Abney, and Hey, it's Abs and Gravity. You know, we also did a little bit of a stream of that. What was it? Saturday we did that.
Yeah, it was Saturday.
Had a bit of fun on there, just being goofballs and all, just ghost hunting and everything. So yeah, enjoying that, and not just living life, just gaming. You know.
Yeah.
And speaking of gaming in life, did Thanos get E3 too there, Nineball? Steve Watts from GameSpot says the ESA might be signaling its intent to hold a show next year, but it appears the E3 is gone for good. After years of awkward stumbling as it attempted to keep up with a rapidly changing industry followed by a pandemic that disrupted gatherings all over the globe, the ESA has canceled the conference for 2022, and I suspect more than likely forever. The Global Games Conference has been struggling to transform itself in recent years, and we've been seeing the signs of its waning relevance even after its ill fated attempts to scale down. First came Nintendo canceling its traditional stage conferences for pre recorded Nintendo Direct presentations. Then E3 transitioned to a public show, an awkward step that made conditions less than ideal for both the fans and journalists alike. Then publishers like EA and Sony started skipping the event altogether, albeit with their own events that just happened to take place in Los Angeles around mid June, when they could count on all the media being in town. The finishing blow, though, was the global COVID-19 pandemic. They can say that again. For obvious reasons, a highly transmissible disease that shut down all public gatherings was going to have an impact on a massive game conference attended by tens of thousands of people. When the virus erupted in March of 2020, even small public gatherings were shut down as an emergency measure. Case rates were still rising in June, so E3 was a no go. The ESA put out a statement commitment to come back all the stronger in 2021. The next year came, and the variants came too. It was too risky to put on a public show, so E3 transitioned to an all digital showcase. As a hasty make good, it had echoes of the in person show, but it wasn't the same. Business networking had always been a big part of the appeal of E3 for developers and publishers, and that just wasn't amenable with with an all digital show. Studios couldn't solicit real time feedback from fans and journalists. Whatever utility E3 had remaining after going through such dramatic changes was blunted severely by an all digital show. I'm sorry to say, but I definitely have to agree. I feel like E3 has just finally come to its end. That it will not, even if we go fully back live like we did before in 2019, I don't think they can recover from what they've lost so much of. I think all the other companies are so used to now doing stuff digital and seeing how easy it is for just them do it digitally themselves that there's no point in getting E3 really back up and running in their perspective. So, fortunately, I have to agree. I feel like E3 might be no more. Nineball, what are you thinking on this one?
It's been crawling for years. I mean, it's like Like I put the I know before the stream I used the analogy of a dog, but the dog that just put down, it was the guy crawling. I mean, he got shot. He's been bleeding out slowly, and it finally just died. If COVID hadn't have came, it was going to go down this route anyway. Sony left, Nintendo left. I think EA was leaving. About
EA
every
had left. Yep.
Yeah, everybody was leaving. Everybody knew it was over. They was just, I mean, it was a good run when it was going, but it was time for the transition to happen. I don't think really this is no surprise. I mean, the only thing was is that COVID kind of sped it up. It was just another tragedy in the whole COVID outbreak thing.
Yep.
Without the people, without actually having to be there anymore, and without the hands-on meeting people, cosplay, and all that in the E3 convention anymore, an all digital thing is nothing more than just really watching my job have a business meeting.
Pretty
It's pretty
much.
pretty much what it is. It was our basic auto job. We would have town halls during COVID every once a month or something. They would do like a town hall to where they would meet up and all your bosses would tell you what's going on and what's it looking like and everything. It was like that pretty much. It
Yep.
is it really wasn't, it really was just added to end. And I mean, it was fun while it lasted, but it's pretty much gone now. I don't really see it coming back next year or the year after that. I just see it just fading away. Most of those shows will probably have now do basically YouTube state of plays or something down the line of that. We just lost our co-host. Uh, but we're having some technical difficulties. Give us. All right. He's back. He's back. He's back. Okay, give him a couple seconds.
That was very weird, everyone. I apologize for that. For some reason, Discord just shut down on me. Apparently, it didn't like your comments there, Nine Ball.
Well, tell Discord that's its problem. This
Oh, it definitely is. It was weird. Like you're going, and just like, oh, we're done. I'm like, no, we just got started here.
yeah, it's
That was really, really weird. And there was no update notice or anything. It just crashed.
oh wow.
Yeah, that's a first for me.
It's the E3 convention. It's just mad.
It's Ghost is coming back to haunt us. Like, how dare you end me? I did not want a mercy kill.
That is all.
But I
I'm
mean,
sorry, Discord.
I'm sorry, E3. Like, it was definitely
Yeah.
a good way of like networking and stuff like in person, meeting people. But just like we said, because of what the pandemic did and all, it just pushed it towards its end faster. Eventually, you probably would have gotten there, especially with as technology evolved and everything, especially with EA, Sony, and Nintendo backing away from it. It definitely would have gone there a lot slower, probably. You probably would have kept on life support as long until we got Kevorkian in, and just say nope, got to pull the plug. But I definitely think COVID just was like, now just get rid of, just put it down. We're done.
Yeah, you got like now you got more replacements for it. I mean, you get I know Microsoft, Nintendo, PlayStation, all have been doing their own state of plays lately, along
Mm.
with Ubisoft, Square Enix, and all them. Let alone too, you've been having the VGAs have actually been more and more stepping up and kind of taking filling the shoes of that now.
Yep. And the good thing about those two is like if you miss it, that's okay because then you can just go back and watch on YouTube later. Like it's going to be up there. So you don't have to catch it at the exact moment in time. Is it cool to do so you can get on the chats? Yeah, it's always cool to get in there and get on the chats. But it's there consistently where it's like with E3, like you may get some highlights and then eventually they put up a trailer of some of the games and all, but it's like you don't see all of it, of all the everything that goes on in E3 if you were in person and no, if you missed it. But now, because unfortunately that there is no in-person stuff with E3 anymore, with all the digital aspects that they have, we can easily get it from anywhere. You could be on the plane to a vacation. You could be, stuck out in the middle of the woods somewhere because, somehow, phones can get Wi-Fi out in the middle of the woods for some reason. I don't know how. Um, you got satellite GPS is just attached to the top of your car. But it's more accessible to everyone now, more global. So it hits a bigger audience, I feel like, besides, oh, we did E3. And then a week later, oh, here's what you guys have missed. It's like versus digital put out there saying, everyone join us now. And we're like, yes, let's do it. Or I'll get you in the morning. Cool.
It's like you was talking about it's the E3 was more of a hands-on thing. For it was probably one of the biggest things was coming to see the tech and see all the new stuff. All the, it was more than just video games. I know it was one of the big highlights for video games, but they also had new tech coming out. And I remember, I think, was it last year they had Nvidia on there?
I believe they've had, I think NVIDIA, I don't remember if it was last year, but I do know that because actually Malachi and I, along with several other friends, along with Bear Levu, went out there for an E3 several years ago, and it was really cool to play. Like, one of the things that you said with hands on is you got to play the games, kind of like a beta first version. Get in there, play it, kind of mess around with some of the mechanics and all, see what they're offering. Now, granted, this was just like a small snippet, not the full game. It was like a pre-built thing that you could play there. You did get to see some technology there, so they did have some tech stuff. They also had other games and thing. But then one thing that kind of also a little bit bothered me here and there was there's some games I saw that I really wanted, like, oh, I want to go check this out. They're like, are you a developer? And I'm like, no. Like, well, this is for developers only. I was like, are you kidding me?
Oh
Like, they
wow.
had nothing on the side for some person to play, like just for a random player to play. Like, you had to be a developer to go in there and do it. So there was that. But I got to play, like, the first round of Jurassic World when it was before it came out. And I got to play that. That was fun. Just launching a T Rex in the middle of the park and saying, "All right, kids, have fun."
Mm.
Recreating the movies my way. But there definitely was a bonus. And yes, the game companies are kind of losing out on stuff with that. But to be honest, trying to get the tickets to go out there, get a hotel to stay in that area, and then get taxis, Ubers, whatever to walk down or travel down there, it's expensive on the main consumer. So I think, especially with the way everything went with COVID and the pandemic in the world and all that is currently going on, I think everyone's a okay with it being digital. And I think, like you said, even if pandemic was like, say, all right, we're not in a pandemic anymore next year, everyone we should be going back to normal. I don't think anyone would even bother trying to go to an E3. E3 would be like, we're live, and everyone would go like, online on Twitch or YouTube. Which one are we doing here? And they're like, no, we're live in person. Like, that does not compute.
Yeah, it's on it's time for it to go.
Yep. E3, you had a good run while you were there, and we sorry that you couldn't adapt and survive going forward. But thank you for starting something. Because I'm pretty sure, because in my opinion, without E3 going, we probably wouldn't have gotten to these ages that we are with as much digital information and showcases that we have been going on.
Yeah,
So,
it's true. I mean, these places they have their spots. I mean, I talked about, like example, James Ralph, the angry video game nerd, or what was that one station they used to have, the G4 network or something?
yep, G4. I remember G4.
G4. I mean, they have their times and they have their spots. I feel like E3 was like that as one of the pioneers, but to be honest, like I said, it's basically time for it to pass the torch.
Yep. Pass the torch. Let's put it up on the walls saying it was once here and it was in the glory days of old. But
Yeah,
now
the
we must
video
move
game
on.
industry is doing pretty well now. Like I said, pretty much with the way the VGA awards have been going lately, I feel like that one will do an excellent job of allowing these new companies of video games to still showcase their things, even if you don't have like a big company. You can go through those or something
Yeah,
and get some attention because a lot of people that's gonna be in the video games will be watching that also. A lot of developers will be there also. And I feel like this is probably the better way to go, other than trying to be hamstrung to everybody trying to smash into this one showing. Oh, let me get all this in there. And you had to do this in a 45-minute network. Whereas now the newer ways they're doing it with the state of plays and stuff, they can focus more on their stuff, and you can do it over time other than trying to smash it all into one big showing.
Yep, and then have to worry about timetables and
Yeah.
show times. Can everyone get there? How do you get a hold of everyone? Unfortunately, going an all digital show just reaches everyone. Speaking of reaching of everyone in digital showcases, that's the worst cameo I've ever done, but we're doing it. Summer Game Fest lives as we kill E3. Jenny Zhang from GameSpot, right on the heels of E3 2022's complete cancellation hitting the internet, Summer Game Fest came in hot with more info on what attendees can expect. I'm sorry, that just came into my head of like, right as soon as E3 says we're no more, just all of a sudden the screen goes dark, and then Summer Game Fest just slides around. It's like, but we're here. Like this weird, just crappy showcase thing was like, hey,
I got like a Michael Bay image of like E3 blowing up behind and like Summer Game Fest, like Wolverine just walking out of the flames. Just
that is so much better than my cheesy's like 1820 crap cameo that I just did. Wow, I'm old. Nine Ball wins this one, guys. Put a tick up on the board for Nine Ball. There you go. Continuing on. Very optimistic, very smooth, and very much like the final dust being kicked on E3's grave. Literally. 2020 will start with a live event called The Kickoff Show, hosted by Jeff Keighley.
yeah.
Yep. Summer Game Fest's 2020's kickoff show will feature world premieres, and I Am 8-Bit and Double Fine will make appearances in the Days of the Dev segments. The rest of the festival consists of a slate of digital live stream shows, which devs and publishers will show at Game Fest is still to be announced. Dates for Summer Game Fest are not confirmed yet, but like last year, it'll happen sometime in June. 2021's Game Fest show, some major announcements like Elden Ring's release date, Call of Duty's Season 4 schedule, and more. 2021's announcements were also a little too ad filled, but here's hoping they'll be adjusted this year. Nine Ball, what are your thoughts on the death of E3 with the resurrection and continued liberty of Game Fest lives?
Interesting. Jeff Keighley. I mean, I have to hand it to him. This guy is all inning this. I didn't know he would. I mean, after that disaster of his like first couple of VGA awards, he's been really staying in there. Jeff has really been like going. He's been beasting it. I'm proud of him.
He's
He stuck it
definitely.
out. Oh, going ahead.
No, go ahead. Sorry, Don. That was my bad.
I was about to say he's stepping it up and he's keeping it going. I'm kind of interested still. I mean, I still like to see a few games. The Summer Game Fest is not. I mean, I wouldn't call it like a stage showing, but you can just show off your games. You don't have to really go into like all these upcoming games. You can show some upcoming games, but you don't have to just I guess force it within a mirror window or something. I mean, more down the line of showing demos and gameplays and more of what people wanted to see. I'm interested in it. I know it has quite a few indie titles in there, which I love a good indie title every now and again.
Mm-hmm.
Especially I Am 8-Bit and Double Fine will make appearance. I need to check out I Am 8-Bit. I don't really know a lot about them. I want to. I want to see it this year, so I'm gonna look up and see here. I'm gonna let you go ahead and go. I'm gonna see if they have a date for it yet.
Cool beans. Yeah, I'm definitely excited for it. Definitely, I know Jeff Kelly kind of had some rough and tumbles with the first set of VGAs, but that last one really wasn't that bad at all. Like the
Uh,
last one we watched last year for 2022, 2020, sorry, not 2022, 2021. What year is it? I don't know. COVID. um, so 2021's VGA was actually pretty good. So I definitely feel like he's definitely stepping up, learning from everything, getting feedback, and just improving. And I feel like Summer Game Fest will definitely reflect that. I feel like, um, I can definitely understand wanting a little like less ads, but you know, with anything that comes across the internet and subscription based stuff, you got to pay to get rid of those ads because that's how they pay for their shit. So maybe they'll have enough donations this year to literally run with smaller ads amounts, but unfortunately, if not, they got to make their money somehow. Sorry, guys. Um, Malachi did shoot me a message off the side. He's watching us from the beyond. We appreciate you, Malachi, for watching over us. Give us your blessings and all. Um, he said Jeff is really stepping it up. Yep, Jeff really is stepping up. So I definitely agree with that, and can't wait to see what they got coming up in June. Hopefully, it'll be a hot summer fest.
Yeah, I'm trying to look now to see if I
Badoom.
can get a date. I
God,
want
I
to
suck
see
at this. Malachi, get back here.
2021. Getting
But
on.
while he's doing that, I'm going to put our own ad in. If you guys are thirsty, you can get some supplement powders, energy drinks, and Raise energy drinks from Rep Sports, reppsports.com. Get your supplement powders, workout waters, all that stuff. Even some little extra merch too if you want to on there. And then type out ALWT Gaming in the checkout bar coupon code area to get 15 or was it 15 or 10%? I have literally forgotten now, Nine Ball. Good God. You'll get, I believe, 15% off your purchase. That's right. Yep, 15%. I heard it from the great beyond from Malachi. 15% off. I was trying to jip you guys.
Ooh,
I should have
heard
said
from the
10%. Then that
spirit of
15 would have been like even better. But yeah, no, you guys can get 15% off those workout powder, supplements, energy drinks, all that fun stuff right on there. Just get it and get to working. Get to gaming too. Get those raising energy drinks, game it up, raise it up, raise that game bar,
all
all that
right.
good stuff.
So I looked and they really don't have. It just says sometime in June. So yeah, it's definitely confirmed. Yeah, has been confirmed. It will be occurring sometime in June. This is
Yep.
from MSN. So yeah, it's pretty legit here.
Yep.
Uh, I'm
So June, guys, mark it on
Yeah,
your
I want to
calendar.
see some good.
Circle
I want
that
to see
month.
some good announcements to show up here. I'm waiting to see what they're going to be.
I mean, we had some really good games to launch at the beginning of the year. We had Elden Ring, we had Horizon for Forbidden West. Um, definitely there's the two that are at the top of my head for sure. But there's a bunch of other games that have been coming out and they're scheduled to come out. So it's a good year for gaming for sure. So
Oh
I
yeah.
can't wait to see what they got coming forward. Hopefully, I don't know if they'll do this, but I'm hoping I maybe hear some stuff on Metroid Prime 4 and maybe some Dragon Age.
Who knows?
Some Mass Effect?
We may
Mm?
even find out what is that game? What is that
Oh, does it start with an
Bethesda game?
S? Does it start with an S?
This is Bethesda game.
Oh, Bethesda game. Oh, you mean another Fallout game?
Yeah, yeah. We may even find out what Starfield is. Thanks, Flash from Beyond. Yes, we may
Beyond the
even find
Time
out what
Continuum.
Starfield is finally.
What's that game? Flash is definitely hitting us from the beyond. Seriously. The guy's probably in bed, bag of Cheetos, just watching on his big screen TV he's got mounted on the wall. You know.
Yeah, I'm trying
But
to.
yeah, definitely hoping for some good news from there. And definitely, shout outs to Jeff Keeley for bringing us all this stuff and for doing this and putting it all together. Guy probably, I don't even know if the guy sleeps for Jimmy Cricket's sake. But definitely power to him.
Oh, definitely.
Yep. Moving on to what is now story number 3: getting the new Plus for cheap. Ari Notice from Kotaku says when Sony's revamped version of PS Plus launches in June, its price list tier will cost twice as much as what you're currently paying. But there's a way to slash that in half. If you can secure a year of PS now, you'll be able to temporarily lock in the new service at a lower price point. Unfortunately, perhaps because Sony is wise to people's attempts to do this, securing that year seems harder than ever. First announced last month, PS Plus 2.0. Note, not the official name, just my cutesy take to make the entire shift more digestible, is Sony's redesign of its monthly or yearly subscriptions. For all intents and purposes, the redesign folds PS Plus, the sub required for online play, and PS Now, the game's on demand service, into one subscription, available on PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5. It's available in 3 tiers. PS Plus Essential is fundamentally the same service as the current PS Plus. PS Plus Extra is the same as the PS Plus Essentials, but adds access to a library of 400 downloadable PS4 and PS5 games and costs $15 a month or $100 a year. And 3, PS Plus Premium. The highest tier features all the benefits of the lower two tiers, but adds a 30 game backlog
Or
of
300.
300. I missed a zero there. My apologies. 300 game backlog of streamable and downloadable games from previous generations. That's $18 a month or $120 a year. If you're currently subscribed to PS Plus, Sony says your subscription will automatically convert to PS Plus Essentials. Um, but those signed up for PS Now, at least stateside, will see their subscriptions convert to PS Plus Premium. A month of PS Now currently costs $10, 8 less than the premium rate. A year, meanwhile, will run you $60, 60 less than the premium rate. As a result, players are buying up annual PS Now subs in bulk, with some players reportedly stacking subscriptions through the actual sci fi year of 2031, well beyond when Sony will release a PlayStation 7 and its pricier model, the PlayStation 7 Pro, complete with a hermetic module designed to protect from the worst effects of climate change. Mind this workaround is a little bit wonky at the moment. One of my colleagues was able to buy a year through a direct link to the PlayStation Store, hat tipped to venerable gaming dealer Spotter Wario 64. Another had trouble getting to purchase to go through. Going directly to the PlayStation Store site will take you to a page where you'll only see PS Now available in monthly subscriptions, currently at the 10 price point. Big box retailers like GameStop and Amazon show annual subscriptions listed as currently unavailable, though you may have better luck with third party sites.
Let me check on these.
Nine Ball's going to be checking on them. I'm going to say my thoughts. I'm okay keeping my PS Plus subscription normal. You know, don't get me wrong. Getting 400, like almost pretty much, if you pay up to the 100, $120, you're getting 700 games that you can just download for like 120 a year. That's not bad at all. My biggest concern is though, like the PlayStation Plus Extra, I own sounds legit. PS4, PS5, you already can do that now. You can buy a PS4, PS5 version and download and install them on either system. Awesome. Well, except you can't download 5 onto 4, obviously, but if you have a 5, you can get 4 and 5s on there. That's awesome. Cool. Not a problem. Getting the 300 backlogs from anything like PlayStation 3 or lower, that's just a little concern to me because they haven't said how they've got those set up in the system. And the reason I'm saying that is because I'm pretty sure we all remember Nintendo wonderful, wonderful launching of their backlog setup of games from the past, from old systems that you could play on there or may not work because the graphics card's too advanced, or you cannot save your file because it doesn't recognize the Nintendo save card slot. Yeah, that's my biggest concern with that. Other than that, the prices actually really aren't that bad in my opinion for what they're offering. You know, the only question I have is, can I buy a 60, standard PlayStation Plus membership and then pay the extra amount to get, say, a monthly of, say, premium or something, and then have that fall off at the end of it if I wanted to? Could I play it that way? Or do you have to just, if you bought a yearly, that's it? You can't do anything besides maybe upgrade it to a yearly of whichever one you're going to go to, you know? So, little questions about that. But other than that, I'm definitely kind of curious about what a PlayStation 7 would look like and how they would protect it from the worst effects of climate change. Because I'm pretty sure most people are still saying climate change doesn't exist, even though we all look outside and can see it happening.
Looks fine to me outside. I mean, we just went through like 4 seasons.
I mean, we're just getting out of winter when we should have already been out of winter, but that's normal.
Technically not even, but technically still in winter.
Yeah, that's normal.
Yeah,
It's
that's
just
part
we're
of
just the mother nature just kind of just turned that clock just a little bit, just at the time frames and everything. It's like, you know what? Winter in December is just too common. We're gonna change it up. Winter's gonna be January to April. That seems like cool. We're gonna shake it up a bit, just see Mother Nature taking the earth and just shaking it like a freaking snow globe.
it. We ain't got seasons here no more. I swear we ain't got
We've
seasons no,
got days.
pretty much.
Like here in the Ohio Valley where Malachi Nine Ball and I are at, like literally, like we went from like 70-degree weather back down to 50, up to 70, back down to 50, up to 60s, down to 40s, up to 70s. I'm like, when did we go to Cedar Point and get on a roller coaster here? Can someone explain this to me? You know,
Uh, okay, I was looking. Yeah, a lot of these places are out of the yearly cards. Yeah, a lot of them are out of yearly gift cards.
that would not surprise me, and I wouldn't be surprised if scalpers were involved in this one as well. Getting
Probably.
online and buying them out, and then as they said in the article, you know, like check a third party site because I'm pretty sure you could probably be on eBay and you'll find someone selling it for maybe 3 times the normal pricing. At that point, just buy the membership. Then normally, guys, it's not worth it to pay a scalper. Don't pay them. It's not worth it
No,
at
it's
all.
not.
At all. Nine Ball, what does this do for you in terms of your own PlayStation Plus subscription?
I believe me and Flash was gonna try it. I can't really speak for Flash. I believe he said it. I'm not speaking for him though. But we was gonna try out the higher tiers. I'm gonna try out probably the highest tier, see how I like it. If I don't like it, I'm gonna just drop down to the other ones. I'm gonna try a couple months. Okay, yeah, yeah. Flashes
Flash
beyond or
just
just flash from beyond just sent the message.
the message reads, "We're getting it now." He says 100% checking it out. Highest T.
Yeah, we're gonna be
Mm.
definitely checking this out. I want to see how these new ones are. Like I keep saying the same thing with them, and I heard that we was talking about this before the stream that they're trying to get the some of the PlayStation 3 games on to work on the PlayStation 4 and 5, which I 100% agree with it. I came late to the PlayStation show. So really, we had a PlayStation 1, a PlayStation 2, but our PlayStation 2 broke and then we switched over to an Xbox. So most of my friends we played for the longest time on Xbox 360, Xbox, the original Xbox, the Xbox 360, and somewhat on the Xbox One. So coming into the PlayStation, there's a lot of PlayStation games I've never played. Like I've never really played. I played some of it, but I've never really played The Last of Us all the way through. I've never played a Uncharted. I've never played. I always wanted to play Metal Gear Solid 4. I've not played that one, but there's so many games I've yet to play on there. So for me, this is actually good, and I'm glad that they are doing a new PlayStation Plus and giving us looks like a pretty good deal. Go for a year, 120 a year. See if you like it or not.
120 a year with 700 games to browse through. Yeah, I mean, price wise, that's not that bad of a deal, really, if you do the
It's
math.
it's not, but it depends on what the 700 games are.
And this is true, but I'm just talking like and that's why I think if they launched a list of the games, it would allow people to browse and see what exactly is being offered and to see if it would work for them. Like show us the listing, say what's the games are going to be, and then we can then determine from there, do we want to go with this or not? And then is this list going to continue to grow or is it going to rotate? Is it going to be changeable? What's the backlog going to be like?
I'm hoping that, like I believe we talked about it last time, was about the upscaling. I'm hoping that they fix that as if that becomes okay. They confirmed it'll rotate.
A flash from
Uh,
beyond.
okay.
So yeah, Flash from Beyond again. Apparently, PlayStation now already rotates, which is
I,
cool. But then I guess that leaves a question. Then it's like, if you're already rotating on it, are you rotating only like say 10 games per month or something? And then you rotate through it. I don't know how PlayStation now works. I don't run it. I don't really care for it too much currently. With the new subscription, like I said, if I saw the listing of games that are in that backlog and that, they're pretty much games I want to play, then yeah, definitely something worth go for. But if it's not, then I'm glad that they're at least keeping the standard PlayStation Plus as it is, because that definitely I like getting just those 2 free games a month, and still be able to play online with my friends and all. So that's definitely a good thing. So all in all, I don't think it's a bad news. I really think that I
No,
think they
no,
definitely have been
this
going
is a
well
pretty
with it.
good move for them. I mean,
Mhm.
it's good. I mean, I like it. Like I said, for me personally, I want to do some. There's some classic games I want to give a go.
Yeah, and the PlayStation 3, like I said, I'm curious about that because the architecture is so different on those that I'm curious about. Are they going to do a full rehash? Are they just going to do like an emulator to get it to run on the 4 or 5?
They
Because like I said, I'm just worried about it because we all saw how Nintendo dropped the ball on that one with theirs. So I'm
Oh,
hoping.
how did theirs go? I didn't really remember. I
Well, a
don't
lot of
remember.
the games, like, either they weren't running too well because of the graphics, because there's such old graphics on a lot of those Nintendo games, or the biggest thing that I saw was, like, some of them were, like, you couldn't save the game because it still was trying to read for a Nintendo save card. So I'm like, I'm really hoping PlayStation is, like, learned from that going like, "Alright, we gotta, not do that." So, like, definitely check the codings, how the save files will work, make sure the architecture will allow it or something. That's the biggest thing, is just
Probably had
making
like a big
sure.
TV in the back. You see that? You see what Nintendo's doing? Don't do that. Don't do that. You see this?
Mm, just don't,
Don't let
just
that
don't.
happen.
Yeah, no. Like, and I haven't checked to see if they fixed it yet or not. I just know that when it first launched, like, it had some problems.
I
So,
don't see how Nintendo messes up like that. I mean, oh my god.
like, I don't know how they did that either. Because 'cause I'm like, you would think that you would run and save it, like, you'd be able to like, rewrite just the save link save location saying instead of, like, to a Nintendo save card, save it to whatever the SD card is, but it's like, I don't even think they did that. I think they just threw them in there, like, literally.
God, Nintendo has it's not even a problem. Nintendo has the biggest library of games to pull from. And they drop the ball every time. They're stuck. I keep saying the same thing, they're stuck in time. They probably still went in the department with a payphone and everybody still got a pager.
Oh my god. For all the young kids out there, that's payphone is you actually it was something that was outside on a street corner that was in a booth. You could open up the door, walk in, and you take that what was called a quarter, and then you just stuck it in a slot on the side. You picked up the little handle, which was a handle. It kind of looked like a cell phone, but it wasn't. It was
It was a
bulkier.
big silver thing, with a
Yeah.
man's face on there. You don't just throw those. You're
Nope.
supposed
You
to
can't. It's got a cord connected to the big box. On the big box, there's that number pad, like on your keyboard. You punched in the numbers, dialed your mom. You only had like a couple of minutes, and then you could talk to them, and then you had to hang up or insert another quarter. And pagers are just something that you kind of wore in your head, acted like a test message system, but just someone just texted it to you, right across the screen saying, "Get your ass to the meeting or get home," and then that's all you could do. Then you just go to it. That's all it really was.
Yeah. He was sending you was it was like it was texting before texting.
Yeah. Your mom could text you. You couldn't text your mom, you know?
Yeah. Be like,
So, that's
dang
we just dated ourselves, obviously, but we're proud of it. I know Flash is proud of it too.
it. My job still has pagers.
Oh, good lord. A Flash from beyond. Yes, sir.
Our job still has pagers. I don't use mine. It's been in the locker for like 5 years now. They're like, I haven't used my pager for 5 years. If you don't want me, you know my cell phone. Just call my cell phone.
Flash from beyond says, "No school like the old school." Amen. Amen.
Oh my god.
Dial-up internet was OP. Oh my gosh, dial-up Roadrunner. I remember, like, yes, kids, dial-up. Oh my god, like, just instead of just clicking and connecting straight to your router, you actually had to connect, and then sat on a little window screen of like a bar going across, trying to dial and connect to the through the modems to the routers to the network to make sure you could get online. Like, you just saw Roadrunner just running across that screen constantly, just
Then you
like
had an
loading.
AOL account.
You've got mail.
Oh, VHS.
All
Oh,
right, Malachi, we're not going to go into the history
oh,
lesson here, Flash.
oh no, we ain't gonna go. We ain't gonna
We're
go
not going to
there.
go into we're not even, we're not going to go into the history lessons. He says they ain't gangster for that. I'm like, baby looking at you just saying, like, get stepping, old man.
I'm going to say, oh, you know what this is, kid? This is a brick. This is what they built your house with.
Oh, good times, good times, old times.
But oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. We kind of lost. We kind of flew off there.
Yeah,
Um,
just a little bit. Just got lost in the past, of the old games being, mentioned by, PlayStation and, some of their stuff for the PlayStation Premium, the 300 games of the ye old games.
I
Yeah,
hope
just ye old.
I want to see
Mm.
some games. I mean, there's a couple games I have for ideas. Like I still like Parasite Eve. I'll probably, if they have that on there, I'll probably just replay it for nostalgic values. Or
If they
if they
have
have Silent 2,
Drakengard, if they have
oh,
Drakengard on there, I will most likely be on it. Mm, that was an old classical hack and slash.
oh my God, yeah, it's so many games that PlayStation has throughout the years, which was awesome.
If they have a Xenosaga, I'd probably definitely get it.
Uh,
I've got the PlayStation 2 games. Like I've got them actual hard copies. I just gotta get an emulator for my PC so I can play them because I love those games. Those were some really good games. The Xenosaga. It was a turn-based sci-fi, so much fun. But yeah, no, I definitely can't wait to see what they do. And like I said, I hope they give us a list at least. That way people will know what they're buying into.
oh,
So
definitely,
with what they're
yeah.
acquiring with
And
this new setup.
the only other thing is basically if it's going to be on there, you got to make it. You got to make at least most of the games. Now I understand about PlayStation 3 games,
Mhm.
but make most of the other games at least downloadable. I don't want to be streaming all the way through the games because it's a problem. If you're playing a game and all of a sudden you stream and you just lose your signal midway through,
You're in that final boss fight. You're about ready to beat him after 30 times. You're like, I can do it. I can do it. I can disconnect. No.
okay.
We're getting another flash from beyond. The only games that aren't downloadable at the moment are the PS3 titles, but that may change. And that goes back to PS3 had the weirdest architecture, I think,
It was
for
the
their
Cell
system.
Architects. I was watching this a couple. I usually watch a YouTube channel called Gamers, but it has a
Mhm.
B for the name. And a lot of places talk about that, and a lot of them will hint around that with releasing titles. Was one of the biggest problems was the PlayStation 3 cell architecture. It was
Now,
so weird for them to do the games on that.
now we're talking Cell, CELL, like from DBZ.
I think, yeah, I believe so. I believe that's what they called it, the cell architecture or something. And it was a nightmare for them to make games on that. The PlayStation 3 was so weird.
I think that yeah, and then they go. I can't remember what the four was built on, but did they go backwards back to the and then just upgrade to whatever was on from the two to the four?
I don't know. I'm not real sure.
I'll have to look that up later. That one is just kind of thought just randomly popped in my head, but yep. So PlayStation 3, hopefully, they do that modification emulator, whatever they can do to get PS3 games on there. If not, definitely look forward to some PS2, PS1 games from the blast from the past. You know, maybe some old school Spyros,
That reminds me,
Tony Hawk's
me
on there.
actually in June, and maybe me and Flash could play because, to be honest, I want to say to be one of the games they did confirm was Returnal was going to be one of the games on there.
Interesting.
Yeah, and since it did go to you
Co-op.
can have, yep, co-op or multiplayer.
Mm,
Oh,
definitely.
yeah, boy for pickup.
Yep. All right. Well, going on to story number 4, more PlayStation acquisitions incoming. Ryan Dinsdale from IGN. Sony still has plans to purchase more studios, despite acquiring Bungie and Haven within the last 2 months. Sony Interactive Entertainment President Jim Ryan said to the official PlayStation podcast that Sony's first party success has allowed it to invest into more studios. We're in a really good place with PlayStation Studios right now, and we've been for the past few years. The critical success and commercial success of the games that they've been making that has given us permission to invest heavily in content creation. We're growing our studios organically, and we're growing them through acquisition. We acquired 5 studios during the course of 2021. We're in discussions with Bungie, and we have more planned. This is getting us into a cycle, a virtuous cycle where success begets success. This organic growth has seen Sony acquire 7 studios since the beginning of 2021, headlined by the 3.6 billion purchase of Destiny developer Bungie in February for a total of 18 in-house developers. This investment into new studios is also the reason Sony isn't including first-party games in its updated PlayStation Plus tiers, Ryan recently explained. If we were to do that with the games that we make at PlayStation Studios, that virtuous cycle will be broken, he said last month. The level of investment that we need to make in our studios would not be possible, and we think the knock on effect of the quality of games that we make would not be something that gamers want. So, Nine Ball. I'm actually going to pass this one off to you again for
Ooh,
starters.
I'm skeptical, very skeptical here. Because to be honest, it's um, it's extremely scary because you're heading toward a spot where you're going to basically choke out the little guy. You're gonna have two mega corporations, and then you have this little guy trying to make and get kind of choked out. It's scary for a lot of reason. Um, but if they do it right, it's not that big of a deal. I understand they're still responding to basically Microsoft acquiring Activision Blizzard,
Hmm.
but I mean, I don't really know. I was reading about this earlier, and it was part of because a lot of people was having an issue because it's okay, but if you keep buying, it's just everybody's buying up these studios, and there's no room anymore for like independent growth. I mean, you do one good thing, and everybody just buys you out, and then you're just owned by another company. And it's, I mean, I understand, I guess, in some ways, but I don't know. I mean, and number two, I don't know if they want to continue to don't go down this road. PlayStation has always relied on its first party titles.
We're getting a flash from beyond. These deals are, Malachi says from the Flash from Beyond, these deals are done way in advance. I highly doubt it is in response to Blizzard since that was just this year. I do think it's a response to Bethesda and the formula of Game Pass.
That may be true.
A possibility in there for sure. I think it's a much larger formula than that, to be completely honest. But I do believe that that could be one of the contributing factors into it.
Yeah.
But he said definitely it was number two on their nine ball. I know the first one was about the skepticism of buying people out and stifling the creativity there. But
Um, do they really want to go down this road with Microsoft? It seems finally Microsoft is turning its guns towards this style of thing, which I mean, I understand Microsoft's plight, but at the same time too, this is not really a form of creativity. This is just a form of absorption. I mean, it's essentially in Star Trek terms the Borg. Just absorb things and just make it yours instead of creating new stuff. I understand that some companies do go, like, for example, I wasn't too surprised in them buying, for example, I think who did they get 2020 and 2021? I want to say it was Insomniac.
we can do a quick search here.
Here we go. Yep,
Insomniac,
Insomniac and
Sucker
Sucker Punch.
Punch. Yep.
Uh, yeah. Well, those two game companies already been working with them. So for me, it wasn't that big of a shock. those 2 companies they've always been with, PlayStation. It's sorta like even though I see they're in talks, I have an idea as to who they're talking about. I think 'cause when I was reading it, they said they was in talks with 2 more companies. I actually believe, to be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if they say, for example, that, Sony is basically acquiring Square Enix. It wouldn't be no surprise there. Most people are thinking probably one of them Square Enix. I can almost guarantee it's probably Square Enix. They're probably talking. The 2 companies have been together for eons. I know Square Enix keeps talking about they're going to remain an independent company, but it's you never know with them. But for me personally, I guess it'll be okay. I'm just gonna be kind of just keep your ear to the ground, and I just hope that they don't stifle them or anything, and just let them still remain the same they are as they are. But I'll hand it off to you, and I'm gonna ask you a question because, like I said, I
Ooh.
heard two companies. What do you think the 2 companies they're talking about are?
Hmm. Well, first off, my first comment on this article is it doesn't surprise me, but it kind of does that they're still going with purchasing, more companies. One the reason I say it doesn't surprise me is obviously, this is based on you kind of like a little bit what Malachi Flash just from Beyond is. They're definitely responding kind of like to Microsoft's continued acquisitions of companies. Definitely, they bought Bethesda. They got some other deals and all. Plus, the Game Pass are trying to get more into their repertoire, into their studio, so they can try and keep it going and on. I'm hoping they don't stifle any creativity in Nine Ball. I definitely hope that they get them, but allow them to still continue to do things their way, but while kind of just monitoring, make sure things are going good. You know that can still cause problems in terms of business senses, but I'm really hoping they don't bring them in and stifle them. Which it doesn't seem like they do with the ones that they've acquired so far. I don't think they have. Um, in terms of the 2 studios they're talking about, I definitely could possibly see Square Enix for sure. That one I definitely can. The other one I am not too sure on. Um, I really don't know who else they would go for besides maybe an up and coming indie or like not like an A-lister, but maybe like a B-lister studio. But I'm not ringing any bells of who they could be in talks with. Square Enix is the only biggest one I can think of that they might be in talks with, but that one's still kind of skeptical for me too, in terms of just them actually getting them because they've been such a partnership, and Square Enix normally is just on its own most of the time. So I'm not too sure there. I really can't put a bet down there for you, Nine Ball.
All
I
right.
really can't.
Now I was
Um,
seeing one that people was throwing up earlier when I was reading. They was talking about please buy Konami.
that one,
I don't- they would probably buy their IPs, but I don't see them buying the whole company.
yeah, I'm not sure on
Yeah.
that one. That seems,
It's just a
yeah,
lot of salty people. I don't know if anybody on here plays like Master Duel or nothing, but let's just say the new update didn't sit well with fans. Like I was waiting for an entirely new ban list to come out and stuff.
yeah,
We didn't get much, nothing. Just oh look, you got another guy that another new set coming out and another
yeah. No,
battle pass.
yeah, they need a new ban. They need to get that ban list up because the TCG tournaments have definitely banned a lot of stuff that they need to get banned in Master Duel. That's annoying.
Yeah, it's certain things are just running rampant, and they really got to fix that mess. Because I'm
It takes the fun out of it when everyone just plays that. Well, they try and play the deck while watching on YouTube because they don't know how to run it and they just built it, and you're sitting there for like
yeah.
5 years. Like, are you done yet? Did you finish it? Did they tell you what to do finally? You
Everybody I
know,
was playing against either was running an Outlet Virtual World or Prank Kids. That's it.
yeah, that doesn't surprise me.
The other one, only other one is the DD Dynamite deck.
Yeah, I've come across those too, and I was like, "What the heck is this?" And
Yeah,
you're
you
just
don't even get a turn.
nope, he just nerfed you right away. It's just it's so annoying. Oh man. But
But
yeah,
yeah, I'm thinking that's the reason why I was putting down for that one.
get him under new leadership. Well,
But oh, sorry.
I definitely can. I'm kind of on their aspect of like, the reason why they're not doing first party games is because they're trying to keep everything, um, I guess, like for. I guess it sounds like they're trying to do it just for the gamers, so they're not trying to exclude gamers with their first party stuff. Um,
It incentivizes you to buy, which basically
yeah,
brings more money in, which is good for them. I mean, you want to make as much profit as possible.
exactly. So they still own the company. They may not be selling it on their system, but they're still getting money because they're selling it and it's coming to them anyways. So that's kind of what I feel like is what they're going for. It's not for the, buy just for us and let's build the Sony Nation. They're buying it so that way they can build the Sony Nation across all platforms, even on Xbox. To kind of look, I'm going like, that's my game on there. My game's doing better than yours. What you got? I feel like that's kind of what they're trying to go for.
Uh, maybe, maybe not. I don't know. Game Pass would be happy. They wouldn't care if they do it.
Oh, Game Pass. Game Pass
Yeah,
is making so much for them. I'm pretty sure Microsoft is just looking at this all going like, good, let's do it. Keep it coming.
Game
Yay.
Pass
Yeah.
is, especially in these times now,
Oh yeah.
where games are getting like $70+ Game Pass is looking more and more like these type of subscriptions are looking more and more palatable to where you can get a game, play it, and after you beat it, you can just immediately go to the other game. Whereas back in the day, you have to spend $70, buy a game, play it, beat it, maybe take it back, maybe get $30, and then buy another $70 game.
And I
But
definitely could see that, especially if you're playing a lot of the library. The main
yeah,
thing, and I said this before with me, is just a lot of the library just doesn't appease to me. So, I would rather just buy the game and own it and then be done with it, and then I've got it for all times versus because a lot of those games do rotate off of there. So
this much is
after
true.
after my X amount of time, then it's like, all right, well, the game's gone. It's like, well, I wanted to play it again, but it's like, well, you're gonna have to wait for whenever it decides to come back to play for just that 1 month time frame, versus if you really enjoy it, just buy the game,
I actually did that
support the
for mine.
studio.
I mean, for me personally, it worked somewhat for me with these with the things to where I was able to try something. That's why I bought the medium. I actually, personally, for me, when I was playing through the medium, I liked it, and I seen it on sale, and I picked it on up. That's the reason why for me, I kind of like the subscription. I mean, you can go through a game. Um, wait a minute,
We're getting Flash from
Flash
Beyond,
from Beyond.
guys.
Reason for that is because the quality of the games on Game Pass compared to Sony doesn't hold up. However, what Microsoft's territory now with future titles and needs.
Okay, so Malachi Flash from Beyond saying the reason why currently is that the quality games in Game Pass does not compare to the quality games that Sony currently has. However, Microsoft is steering towards getting that quality up because that's why they're purchasing
Yeah, well,
these
with them it made sense because this
studios and
was
all.
a massive complaint with them. I mean, you had to think about it. PlayStation, Xbox, what was it? Xbox One. I'm sorry, I get confused with all these Xbox
Isn't
titles.
that two now?
No, it's Series X now.
Are we
Um,
are we are we doing an XYZ here? Do I need to, what? Just,
yeah, Series X now, but Xbox One, you didn't have very many titles to launch. I mean, you had, I think, Gears 5, Crackdown 3, which really didn't do well.
I didn't hear him too much. I mean, Crackdown sounds like kind of like you got to be into that Splinter Cell stuff.
Oh, it's not Splinter Cell, it's wacky over the top. Um,
No, I don't know.
It didn't, I mean, it didn't do well, it just launched and that was it. It wasn't too good, and this was a huge complaint with Microsoft titles. So, in the beginning, when Microsoft did what they did, it made sense. Now, I don't know why everybody just decided to go on a buying spree. everybody's just busting out their wallets left and right to see what titles, what companies they can buy. I think actually for Sony too, it may be out of fear. They may be moving to cut off certain things as
Trying
well too.
to buy up the ones that they can without going into a
Yeah,
bidding battle with Microsoft.
beating them to the punch in a way.
Yeah, I mean, and that's good and all, but I really hope that we were talking about after they announced Activision,
The FDA,
yeah, that the FDA
I mean
does a
FTC,
review.
FTC.
Yeah,
I'm
the Federal Trade Commission. Um, um, that they get in there and like really review those rulings and everything and the laws about buying and all, because like this could end up becoming a monopoly situation, which we or like at least a two bid, two company ruling, which really isn't that good for the economy. And like you said,
oh,
Namball, it definitely hurts those little guys. I mean, thank God Steam is not selling anything or not going to even think about selling
they,
themselves out.
to be
Gaming
honest,
is going to be the best.
you couldn't buy them. They couldn't buy them. If
No,
you bought that, if Microsoft made a move to buy Steam, the FTC at this point would have to step in.
yeah, anyone trying to buy Steam would have to step in. Um, Steam and pretty much if this buying bid continues, I can see a pretty much grand majority of indies going straight to Steam because they wouldn't be able to. They would have to probably go through so much processing just to try and even get their game onto PlayStation. Well, maybe onto Xbox, maybe not. Maybe not onto either of the systems because regardless of the companies would still want the game most likely. But I just fear that if they bought out too much, then they got their own pushes going, their own studio builds. Then it's like, is there even a point of trying to get your game onto a system where it may not be played? That's the biggest thing I think. So I feel
Yeah.
like Steam right now has got the best community for indie gamers currently. I know Sony's got some on there that I definitely have loved playing, um, but I haven't been seeing too many lately. Mainly, I've been seeing mine on Steam a lot. So maybe I'm just not paying enough attention to the
Well,
Sony indie group.
they've become, I would say, the indie group. They've become more. They're not as bad as they used to be with that. They've become more open to them lately. I've noticed on PlayStation and Xbox have become very open with their community. So it's not as bad as it used to be, but it it can still use some work. I would say actually of the two, I would say Microsoft is more indie friendly than Sony. Sony's always been more closed off and they are, and it's one of the good things too, having competition is basically that they're forced to do things that normally they wouldn't, like crossplay, because it took Sony forever to get into the crossplay scene.
Yeah, crossplay is something that needs to be fully recognized now,
Yeah.
completely. Like start of the thing. Like if you're doing any multiplayer game, crossplay is going to be one of the biggest. Now, granted, Nintendo really needs to step up, but that's a technological default that does not work with crossplay capabilities.
And ten-
Uh,
nin- I don't really count it. Nintendo basically to me is not even in the Nintendo war. I've used that analogy of the little kid in the corner several times because it's basically Nintendo. They just do what they want. And you just leave them alone. What's he doing? I don't know.
he's over there playing.
Come
He's over
on.
there playing with his Wii.
Yeah, I don't know what he's doing something.
That's such an old joke. I'm
He's doing-
so dated. Uh, but yeah, no, I mean, I definitely say it's stuff that we need to keep an eye on for, the whole buying up of the companies, and also we definitely should keep an eye on them with what they're doing, and then also see what the Federal Trade Commission is going to do about it because I know they're re-going over the rulings. Well, they're supposedly re-going over the
the federal.
rulings.
I was just watching a video on that not too long. The Federal Trade Commission is so far behind.
Now, are they as far behind as the Nintendo?
They just recently, from what I was listening to, they recently was going after Facebook for buying what was that? Instagram. And when did that happen? About 5, 10 years ago?
Yeah,
Yeah, they the FTC is they're using outdated outdated rules and regulations. They really able to that they really need to update their stuff because they are.
Flash from Beyond. Nintendo's so far behind, they made Michael J. Fox and Back from the Future look new. Wow. Dated but true.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, just government. What can we say? Nothing. We didn't say
Yeah,
anything.
they need to update a lot of that stuff.
Well, that's it for the news. We are going to throw some fun stuff out here for you guys, though. A little bit of fun ones. PlayStation Plus games for April have been announced. Slay the Spire, Hood, Outlaws and Legends, and SpongeBob SquarePants Battle for Bikini Bottom Rehydrated. I'm actually very excited for that last one. I love me some good SpongeBob.
Huh. Never really played a SpongeBob game.
I actually like this one. It was actually one of the better ones in my opinion. So I enjoyed SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom when it was on GameCube. I believe is when I played it. And now that they've got it coming back, I am very excited. I was actually waiting for Rehydrated to go on sale on Steam, but if they're going to give it to me on PlayStation, I will take it there.
Yeah, nothing beats free.
Amen. Games for Gold in April, which is on Xbox or Game Pass. Another site, which is 4:1 to 4:30. Hue, 4:16 to 5:15. Outpost, Kaloki, 4:1 to 4:15. And MX versus ATV Alive, 4:16 to 4:30. I have no idea what any of those games are.
The last one is a motorcycle game.
I
It's
know
a
the last
motorcycle.
one is motorcycle versus like ATVs, which is a four wheels. That one I knew, but these other ones I just don't know about them.
This is
So
well, to be honest, a lot of I don't even check. I hate to say it, but I don't really check Microsoft's anymore because most of their free games lately have not been too good.
apparently, another site is a surreal fantasy adventure steampunk element set in London of 1899, towards the end of the Victorian era. It looks like it's a side scroller. Yep, side scroller platformer. Interesting. Well, if you that's up to your alley, it's definitely going to be on Steam for
Ah,
1 to 4:30. On non Steam on Xbox
ex-
Gold. Yep.
huh? Yeah, I
Also,
might pick it up just to pick it up.
I mean, it's free. Check it out. See how it is. Let me know. Give me a review. I might get on Steam. Um, but yeah, also coming up this Thursday is our sin segment, Strength in Numbers. The LWT Gaming is going to be myself, Nine Ball, and Melkai. And I'm actually not going to spoil what game we're playing. We're going to be playing a fun game, a dark game, a bloody game. I'm kidding. Uh, join us this Thursday for some Bloodborne. It's going to be a bloody good time.
Yeah, it's gonna be really good. This is gonna be interesting.
It's gonna be fun. I can't wait to get Malachi in there, and get him fully through this game. Like, I'm also curious to see what routes he's gonna take too, because as you know, the Dark Souls universe, there, Nine Ball, there's a lot of different routes you could take,
Yep.
different endings too. So yeah, so join us for there, and then keep an eye out. Next month we will actually no, this month we'll have our. I keep saying next month. We're already in next month. We'll have a 9 to 5 on a Saturday, to be determined coming up soon. So you might hear more about that next Tuesday, the 12th. So keep your eyes and ears out on that. So, oh, I heard it. I heard it speak from the beyond there, Nine Ball. It came.
Ooh.
The 23rd of April is spoken. So it shall be. So mote it be. All right. So yeah, the 23rd, guys. Keep out 9 to 5. All right. Well, thanks so much for joining us, everyone. Malachi, thanks for sending a voice from beyond, which I'm pretty sure was delayed due to sad connection issues and you laughing your ass off at us. Nine Ball, any words to our lovely audience before we head on out here for the evening?
Actually, I don't really have them. Just stay safe and have a good time and enjoy your families and just have fun.
Hey, no better words have been spoken. Definitely stay safe, guys. Take care. Uh, definitely love your families. Because with everything's going on, who knows what's could happen. So definitely, give it even just a hug. Just give your brother a hug if you need to. Brother, sister, mom, dad, uncle, aunt, whoever. Just give them a big hug. Um, Also, just keep your eyes out. For Steam sales coming up soon. I know we got that as well. I know I just side jumped into something completely random there, but I did. So we got some Steam sales hopefully coming up soon. So definitely keep your eyes out of that in June. Possibly some here earlier April or May. And other than that, guys, definitely stay safe. Take care. This is Mildew Carrot with It's a Nine Ball and flashing from beyond Malachi 36. We're all signing out. Control Alt.
Complete.
Peace, love, and hair grease, guys.